It's very clear our love is here to stay, not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies and in time may go, but oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we'll go in a long, long way. In times the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. Oh, it's very clear that our love is here to stay, not for a year, but ever, ever, ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time they'll go, but oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we'll go in a long, 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 long way. In times the Rocky may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, but they're only made of clay. Well, our love, our love, our love is here to stay.
Thank you so much, Irene. Thank you for the lovely opening to our service. I'm very happy to welcome Dr. Karmen Smith. Dr. Karmen Smith is a mental health therapist, a metaphysical minister, and author of the book, The I Am Solution: Simple Practices to Transform Fear Back to Love. Dr. Karmen Smith understands the pit of unforgiveness and the bliss of oneness. Her teachings are easy to understand and provides the needed guidance combined with loving encouragement. Dr. Karmen's, the title of her talk today is Being the High Vibe Tribe. Resolution blessing. Let our breath be gentle wind. Let our ears be of those who listen. Let our hearts be not ones that rage so quickly and thus blow dramatically and uselessly. Let our spirits attend and be most diligent to the soft yet desperate whisper of hope and peace for our world. Let our souls be those which watch for the Lord, waiting with wonder and want. Let our eyes be attentive with interest and respect. Let our minds be committed to health and happiness. Let our hands join in helpful resolution to being our best person, praying and playing, and passing through moments of pain or memory. Makers of pleasure, touching the future together. That was a poem by Maddie J.T. Stepanek.
that anyone ought to do. I'm living in a kind of daydream. I'm happy as a king and foolish, though it may seem to me that's everything. The mere idea of you, the longing here for you. You'll never know how slow the moments go till I'm near to you. I see your face in every flower, your eyes in stars above. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love, the mere idea of you, the longing here for you. You'll never know how slow the moments go till I'm near to you. I see your face in every flower, your eyes in stars above. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love. Oh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to be here, and my topic is being the high vibe tribe. And what does that mean? That means that, imagine, if you will, we are in the mind of God, and God says, I want you to be on this planet at this particular time, at this exciting moment, and we volunteered. We rose our hands up high. We didn't have hands. We were just in the thought of God. We were just energy. But imagine, if you will, that we had hands. And we were like, oh, I want to go. I want to go on this planet, and I want to bring everything to oneness. I see the polarization. I see how it's going a little wacky, but I know we have the power to do that through love, and we can create this. I want to go. I want to go. And so we volunteered to be here at this exciting time. Now, that's a paradigm shift for a lot of people, because they're like, they look at the news, they see what's going on, and they go, this is horrible. But I want to give you another way of looking at it. There are people on this planet, myself included, I'm not alone, that know that their purpose for being alive is to be on the planet at this particular time. And we're excited because for the first time, our gifts are actually being recognized. Our talents are all of a sudden vibrating with a need. And so we're on point and we're on purpose and we're thrilled to be here. Now, if your mind is not there yet, don't worry. You can be a part of the High Vibe tribe. And No, we're not crazy. We're just in heaven. As a matter of fact, I was speaking at Unity of New York in 2019. I was about to go on the stage and someone said, Dr. Smith, how are you doing? We haven't seen you in a couple of months. How are you doing? And I stopped and I said, I'm in heaven. And the person kind of looked at me and said, you know, I've never heard anybody respond in that way. And I said, wow. I thought to myself, and I said it a couple of days ago, I said, no, I'm not in this world. I mean, I'm in it, but I'm not of this world. And I found myself using the same language that Jesus did. He said, you're in this world, but you're not of this world. And he always talked about heaven is like, and he would always try to explain heaven. And it's like, why was he trying to explain heaven if heaven is only somewhere that you go when you cross over out of this world? And so I started to question, is he talking about heaven as if it is here and now? As a matter of fact, he said heaven is here and now. So that means that we have access to it. And so I want to explain what the high vibe tribe is, and I want to explain what heaven is, and that heaven is possible here and now. You're going, wait a minute, Karmen, have you watched the news? Have you seen all the chaos? I see it, but I'm not in it. What I am in is love. So I want to talk to you today, and I want to give you a visual too, because I'm a visual learner and I like to learn with visuals. I'd like to talk to you today about who we are and what this frequency is that activates heaven on earth. So who we are is we're God beings. You've heard that we're a child of God. As a matter of fact, the affirmation today was, I am a beloved child of God, shining with the brilliance of the universe. Now that has an energy to it. Could you tell that that was an energy frequency? That I was not only saying the words, but I was embodying what that means. That means that we are in the mind of God. We are in the love frequency. We were created in this frequency of love. We are love itself. Then we come to this planet, and like I said, we volunteered. And then we find out that, wait a minute, everything is not in that love frequency? You mean people are in competition and people see other as the other outside of themselves when we know that there's only one love, love is all there is? That's what we keep saying, but it's not present until we show up. Until we show up with that frequency. So Nikola Tesla talked about the secret of the universe. If you want to know the secret of the universe, you have to look at it through energy, frequency, and vibration. Did you know hate has a frequency? Did you know guilt has a frequency and a vibration to it? Did you know that fear is a very strong frequency and vibration? Do you know that when you fear, that you bring those things that you fear magnetically toward you? Here's the good news. If you know who you are and you are vibrating with the frequency of love, you're going to bring those things toward you. Not only that, you're going to vibrate that out, your frequency, your energy. You're going to vibrate that out to your family, to your friends, to people at Walmart when you're in the aisle, you're going to outshine the Walmart greeter. People are going to feel that. They feel this energy. Have you ever walked into a room and you know when someone is sad or depressed? You can feel it. If you're very sensitive, they don't have to say anything. You just feel this energy that is, it either matches yours or it does not match yours. Have you ever heard the term misery likes company? Have you ever gotten together with your friends and complained about what's going on and you find comfort in it because you're aligning with that frequency of complaining, of misery, and then you'll set an appointment for next week to get together and do it again? Let me tell you that there is a higher frequency, and that higher frequency is a love frequency. And instead of complaining, you find yourself in gratitude all day long, almost 24/7. It's like breath. You're just, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my health. I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful for being here at this particular time. You're just so full of gratitude. And what happens is people can feel that. What happens is they stop complaining around you because you're not in alignment with it. You're not matching it. So you may get together with people and have a gratitude fest. That brings health, it brings vibrancy, and you're part of the high vibe tribe. Now, this is a higher teaching. I'll tell you why. Because I'm bypassing forgiveness and all the things that block us from being a part of the high vibe tribe. The reason I'm skipping that is that that's a prerequisite. You can find many things on YouTube. You can find many things, many books on how to forgive, how to release trauma. I'm talking about after you've done that, because those things can block you and keep you feeling separated from this love frequency. And I'm all about healing. I'm a mental health therapist. And I've talked a lot about forgiveness, releasing trauma, having spiritual practices and all of that. But I wanted to share with you what's after that. Why do we need to forgive and blossom into our highest self? Well, because there's a frequency that we want to match, and that's the love frequency, and that is the Christ consciousness. So we want to birth the Christ consciousness within us. That's why we do the spiritual practices. That's why we forgive. That's why we do all of those things, so we can get to a higher frequency. No one ever really explained to me what that was. So I felt myself changing, but I didn't necessarily have like a yardstick or somebody really telling me what this was. I found myself being able to not just forgive people, but there's something that happens to a person when they have a practice of forgiving. When you have a practice of forgiving, and one of the biggest people I needed to forgive was my father, because I felt like he wasn't present as a loving presence in my life. And so I blamed him for a lot of things. I held on to a lot of resentment and hate. So I needed supernatural intervention with that, and I got it. And then there were other people at work. And I used to have a complaining party that I would complain about my bosses and my coworkers. And I needed to forgive and release that in order to come up higher. And so I did, and the complaining group dissipated. So I've had a long practice of forgiving. But then there came a point where I didn't need to forgive because I never held on to any blame or resentment. I felt myself changing. Felt my frequency changing. It didn't happen overnight, but I started to relate in the past tense about what humans do. And I recognized that I was stepping out of that old paradigm of suffering. And I found myself vibrating at a frequency of Christ consciousness. So when chaos happened, I knew it was going to happen. When the pandemic came, it didn't destroy me, and I wasn't engulfed in fear. And I'm not alone. There are other people that have reached a level of the high vibe tribe, and we're bringing everyone, because there's only one life, only one love. When I heal, I'm healing millions of people. That's how powerful we are. This is called entanglement. When my DNA shifts from victim consciousness, it doesn't just heal me. It gives you permission to say, wait a minute, there's something else. After the forgiveness, after the trauma, after the healing, we step into our fullness of being a child of God, representing the universe and shining our light. And so we're not the same as we were before. I'm talking about a DNA shift. I'm talking about a cellular level vibration where we transmute hate. We transmute these things. And I want to give you a visual. Now, this chart that I'm going to show right now, this is a vibrational chart. Now, this vibrational chart, you'll notice the green is courage. And everything below courage is a lower frequency. So when you see our planet and you see the news, you can go through this chart and see anger. You can go through this chart and see shame. It is brilliantly displayed on television. Every murder, every falling system, everything you will see below courage. In your life, are you seeing things that are below courage? Because right now, what I'm talking about is in the purple. It's in the love frequency. You'll also notice that the love frequency and everything above courage is a creative energy. We can create from that. Everything below courage, that is destructive energy. So when you see the world and you say, oh, it's falling apart, that's because what's being televised is the destructive energy. And this destructive energy wants your buy-in. It wants you to believe everything is falling apart for the worst case scenario, because it knows that you can create that with it. You make it bigger. It's like a snowball effect. But I'm here to tell you that there are millions of people waking up in Christ consciousness, doing the work of forgiveness, trauma healing, all of that. And on the other side of that, you find yourself in the frequency of God. And we are creating the new earth. And there are many, many times when I know I'm experiencing the new earth, that it is here and now in heaven. But because the evolution will not be televised, you won't know until someone lets you know we're here. We're excited to be here. We're thrilled that this is our time on the planet as a love frequency being. And I know I won't be on national television talking about the Great Awakening, because that's not part of that agenda. This is part of God's agenda in us, living in us and through us. So why should we be in the love frequency? Let me tell you about the power that comes with this when you're walking in this power. I've heard teachers say, well, you can't walk in this 24/7. That's not true. This becomes who you are because it has always been who you are. So when you walk in this power, I have so many examples of this, but I will share with you a wonderful story that happened recently. I'm coming to you from Sedona, Arizona. This is like the epicenter of spirituality in the United States. Many vortexes and portals and dimensional spaces. And this love frequency is a dimensional space. It is a way that you walk in this world, and what's attracted to you is more love, more creativity, more power. And so one of the things Jesus said was, I am the way, the truth, and the light. And when I was a little kid, I was like, what is he talking about? You know, is it cryptic? Well, it all becomes clear because the only way that you can really experience this frequency is you walk with someone or observe someone that has this frequency and you see things change. So this example that I'm going to provide kind of gives you a sense of that. When I moved to Sedona, Arizona, I was very blessed and guided to find a landlord that rented to me. And she always told me, you know, we live in Phoenix, but my husband, he's like Archie Bunker. You know, he watches this TV station all day long. He's very fearful and angry. He's angry at everybody. He doesn't like people that are different. Black people, Mexican people, you know, you have to kind of be, you know, he's like Archie Bunker. She told me that. So for 2 years, I became really close with her, but I never met her husband. He never came to see his property or anything, so I never met him. But almost not daily, but I would say a lot of the time, I would think of him. I didn't know what he looked like, but I remember just showering him with love and wanting to meet him. I wanted to meet the person whose grandfather built this cabin that I live in. I wanted to meet the person that had this beautiful family. But every time I met the woman that rented me the place, she would always talk harshly about him. So one day, she told me, she said, he's going to come to visit. I don't know if you're available to meet him. If you're not, that's okay. So she had a little fear inside of her. So when I met him, I had already known him before I met him, because for 2 years I was just showering him with so many loving thoughts. When I finally met him face to face, it really sounds really weird, but I felt like I was meeting someone that I had known for a long time and that we were old friends. And so I talked to him and I told him how grateful I was to live in the place that his great-grandfather built. And we talked and I listened and we talked and I listened. And then he went in the house for something and I was talking to his wife and she said, I've never seen him talk so much. with somebody that he doesn't know. He came back out of the house and he gave me a hug. And then the next day, I remember she texted me, she said, I don't know what's going on, but he has never hugged anybody, especially a stranger. She said, Karmen, you brought so much love into our family. Now, what did I do? Did I send her tapes? Did he go to a seminar? I mean, that's kind of what our culture thinks of when they think of change. But with this love frequency, I want you to know that power comes with this frequency. Power to change. What does power mean? That means that you have the power to affect change. If you want to know the secrets of the universe, look at it through energy, frequency, and vibration. My frequency started 2 years ahead of time with this beautiful spirit. My frequency was ready and available and present in a loving space to envelop this beautiful spirit. And I never, ever believed in my consciousness what his wife was telling me, because I know there's only one mind, one energy, one love, and we are all that one love. And it's not about talking about it. It is about embodying it, allowing the Christ to be born within you, to be resurrected within you. We are the second coming, and let me tell you, we are here. We are here now. Let's take a deep breath. I let it be so, and so it is. Let's take a deep breath once again. And let's close our eyes and feel into this vibration, this energy. This is who we are. There's no accident that we are here. We are on point and we are on purpose. As we breathe in that realization that we are children of the Most High, that there is nothing that is more powerful than this energy. This is all there is. It is in all, and it is in us, all of us. We are the high vibe tribe. We are staying in the higher frequencies, able to create a world that is vibrating at these higher levels, knowing that we are not separated from God, we are not separated from each other. It is all one. With this realization, we can create a world. You see, in the love frequency, that is the creative energy. That means that we can say, let there be light in all situations. In the situations that we have most control over, Let there be light. And when we ignite this light within each other and with ourselves, we don't hide it. We put it on the highest stand and let it shine for others so that they know who they are. There is nothing on this planet that is more powerful than the love of God. It transmutes all things. It makes all things new. These are not words anymore. This has to be in every cell of our body, in every breath, being so grateful to be here at this time to provide this vibration, to be let us breathe that in the silence. A deep breath. As we go throughout this week and throughout our lives, we can always call forth that creative tone when we say, "Let there be light." I let it be so, and so it is.
Des yeux qui font baiser la mienne, un rire qui se perd sous sa bouche. Voilà les portraits sans retouche de l'homme à qui j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause.
Now we come to our closing prayer. This is from the epilogue of A Course in Miracles. Be not afraid. We only start again an ancient journey long ago begun, but that seems new. We have begun again upon a road we traveled on before and lost our way a little while. And now we try again. Our new beginning has the certainty the journey lacked till now. Look up and see his word among the stars, where he has set your name along with his. Look up and find your certain destiny. The world would hide, but God would have you see.
We are so blessed here at Unity Center DC for extraordinary speakers, talented musicians who share with us each week their God gift, their message, their inspiration. And for us as recipients, I'd like you to take this moment and be grateful. If you want to express your gratitude by giving a gift to Unity Center DC, it's possible. We'll put up on the screen the options, but you can give online, you can mail a cash or a check to the address you'll see on the screen, so that we can continue this ministry, which has blessed us all. Thank you.